So you can clone me.
I could clone you. I won't do that because it's illegal, but biologically we could do that.
Don't say I didn't warn you. Tonight we're back again, and I have brought you even more TikToks that the mainstream will never show you. And I know it may seem too good to be true, but there are even more dark secrets that have yet to be exposed. But that's what I'm here for. I went to the darkest part of TikTok to gather all the worst videos you could ever find. So I better not see nobody in the comments talk about some Sean, these videos are not even scary. Just wait till the end of the video. I promise you will not survive. But if you think you can, definitely don't watch this alone, because this is gonna get terrifying. What's even scarier than the TikToks we're about to watch today is the fact that 60% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel, so make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe for more scary videos. Thank you.
Scientists report first ever communication between two humans during sleep.
Oh, I'd love this.
Scientists say that science fiction may be coming closer to reality. According to reports, California startup claims it successfully enabled two-way communication between people while they were lucid dreaming. Participants were asleep in separate locations while researchers monitored their sleep and transmitted a coded word designed to be perceived inside a dream without waking them. The system reportedly relied on sensors, wireless communication, and specialized software to detect dream states and relay the message. The company's founder says that what once sounded like science fiction could soon become a part of daily life, until the experiment builds on real research showing that interaction between lucid dreams is possible. Did they relay the coded word to each other? They both got the coded word? Brainwaves and other polysomnographic data were tracked remotely. Specially designed, developed apparatus. When the server detected the first participant entered a lucid dream, it generated a... How do they detect that someone's in a lucid dream? Because a lucid dream is a dream where you're aware that you're dreaming.
Yes.
It generated a random Remyo word and sent it to him via earbuds. The participant repeated the word in his dream with his response captured and stored on the server. What? 8 minutes later, the next participant entered a lucid dream. She received the stored message from the first participant and confirmed it upon awakening.
I mean, this is a cool idea, but imagine you go through a breakup and you're trying to have a peaceful sleep and your ex just shows up in your dream like, oh baby, I miss you. I'm not gonna lie, you're gonna have to get out of my head.
What? Remember Malaysian Airlines? The flight that disappeared.
Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 disappeared with 239 people on board on a trip from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing, China.
This flight disappeared. Nobody knew where it went. But around that same time, there's this guy that received a voicemail. On the voicemail, it translated to this code that says S danger SOS. It is dire for you to evacuate. Be cautious. They are not human. When this guy received this voicemail was the day that the Malaysian Airlines flight vanished. What's even crazier, that long number that he received, that is the last coordinates of the flight.
What? Dude, not only Apple, but also Google has now paid out $163 million because your phone was secretly recording your conversations. And yes, this is even whenever you never said, hey Siri or hey Google. Am I literally tripping right now, or was this not a massive conspiracy because now it's actually real and just out? Obviously, both Apple and Google have voice assistants that are supposed to only activate whenever you tell them to. But according to these new official lawsuits, devices were recording people's private conversations without being triggered. So, and in some cases, they're saying that these recordings were actually being reviewed by actual humans too. Whether this was obviously private moments or conversations you thought you were having between you and a random person, whoever else was in the room, this wasn't a glitch. The lawsuits are making the official claim that companies knew that this was happening and they kept doing it anyways. Apple just settled for $95 million and Google settled for $68 million. So if you or anybody that you know has ever owned an iPhone, an Apple Watch, a HomePod, or any Google device with an assistant between certain years, you might actually be owed money. This obviously isn't even that much about the money though, because it's about the fact that the devices were listening to you whenever they shouldn't have been listening to you. Like I said in the beginning of the video, am I tripping, or was this not a conspiracy? Now it's just true?
Aliens really exist? Then right now, they can't see us. And it's not because we're hidden. Imagine an alien civilization on a planet 50 million light years away, pointing a super advanced telescope at Earth. They wouldn't see cities, they wouldn't see humans, they wouldn't even see mammals. They would be watching dinosaurs walking across our planet right now. Because every time someone looks across the universe, they're staring into the past, not the present. And the crazy part is, the same applies to us. When you look up at the night sky, you aren't seeing seeing stars as they are today. You're seeing them as they were millions of years ago. Some of those stars don't even exist anymore. They exploded long before humans evolved, but their light is still traveling toward us. This means something mind-blowing. We may have already found planets with life, but we're seeing them as babies just beginning. Because the universe is so big, even light, the fastest thing in existence, takes ages to cross it. So every time you look at a star, you're not only looking at ancient history, you are literally looking back in time.
You know, there's some people on this earth that just have too much time and free will because, you know, this is like a cool thing to know, but it really just alters your brain because now you're going to look at the stars and be like, oh yeah, remember that dude in the podcast that told me, hey, everything you ever believed in, yeah, it's not true. And it's like no thanks, bro.
Mark Zuckerberg was spotted with part of his disguise missing on a secluded beach in the United States, a place where no one was supposed to see him. According to the video, he was on a nearly deserted island. No people, no cameras. In the video, he appears to have removed what looks like a protective layer before going into the water. Not completely exposed, just a little bit. Then, something strange happened. Before anyone appeared, before any sound was made, he suddenly turned his head as if sensing someone watching him. Observe his movements closely. These movements looked unnatural. In another video, he tried to drink water, but the movement appeared mechanical and stiff, like someone mimicking human behavior. He even burped at an inappropriate time. Then, an undeniable detail emerges. Frame by frame, another face seems to be hidden beneath the surface. A thin, latex-like substance is moving. The shape looks like a reptile. Then, his movements change. Stiff, deliberate, like someone fighting against a body that isn't truly theirs. You really believe that the man controlling the biggest social networks on the planet wouldn't be one of them? What do you think about this video? Write it in the comments. And don't forget to follow me.
Y'all honestly should have saw this coming. I knew the minute I saw her at the Met Gala, they got her. And for people that aren't really sure if they do or not, you can look up who she signed with, Capital One Records, which Capital One Records is actually owned by Universal Records. Any Universal contracts, they own you. Not to mention that her agenda is pretty easy to push. Overly sexualizing women, making women think that it's okay to actually just be frivolous and have a modern day aspect, which is basically do without will, which is a saying that Luciferians and people in the occult system use. Having women not take into account that they have to hold or uphold integrity for themselves and morals, not for anybody else. A lot of people don't know that women actually run this world. Lust controls everything.
Did you know Samsung is not just a phone company? No, Samsung is actually like a mini country operating inside South Korea. The chairman of Samsung is more powerful than the president, because the company controls nearly 23% of South Korea's entire GDP. It's so massive that its yearly revenue is over $240 billion, which is more than the GDP of 150 countries. And that's just revenue. Its total valuation is in the trillions. Phones are just a tiny part of Samsung's empire. The real power lies in its display panels and memory chips, which even Apple buys from Samsung for its iPhones. Beyond phones and appliances, Samsung is the second largest chip manufacturer in the world. And in construction, they've built iconic landmarks like the Burj Khalifa and Taipei 101. Samsung even owns South Korea's largest insurance company. In fact, Koreans are born and die inside the Samsung ecosystem. They're born in Samsung hospitals, live in Samsung-built homes, study in Samsung schools, work for Samsung companies, stay in Samsung hotels, and use Samsung TVs and phones. In the wildest part, Samsung started 87 years ago selling dried fish. Today, with over 80 subsidiaries and 500,000 employees worldwide, if Samsung ever collapsed, South Korea's entire economy would go down with it.
That kill them all. Whether it's the eggs or the redia or the circaria or miracidia.
These are all the stages.
These are all the complicated little stages. Are a wormwood combination, a ground clove, and the third herb is an extract of the green hull of the black walnut tree. You have to use them together because you have to kill everything at once. Otherwise, one thing turns into the next.
Right, right. How long? How long do you have to take this?
5 days or 6 days.
That's it?
That's it.
And what happened? The parasites are...
Yes. all the parasitic stages are gone.
Wormwood, cloves, and black walnut. Now, this combination has been talked about for years in traditional herbal circles because each one contains naturally occurring compounds that are associated with different stages of the parasite life cycle. That's why people don't just take one, they stack all three together. These come in capsule form and you get 60 in the pack, which is more than enough for the short protocol most people follow. Typically, it's just one capsule before breakfast. Simple, no complicated routine. And I'll be honest, these are absolutely flying. They sell out pretty much every time they come back in stock. If there's a yellow link down there, it's still available, so make sure you grab it while it's still on offer.
If you have these, chuck them away right now. Yeah, people are freaking out after finding out that AirPods have been exploding in people's ears. So it started with this video that came out showing this girl who was hospitalized and nearly went deaf after an AirPod exploding in her ear. Since this, a lot of people have been coming out and this has been going crazy viral all over social media with people throwing their AirPods away now. Obviously, this is coming at a time where everybody's just got new AirPods for Christmas and now they're seeing all these videos and they're chucking them all straight in the bin. Now, I don't know whether this is reassuring or worse, but this actually isn't new. This has been happening for a long time. You can see 2022. And even all the way back in 2018, a guy had the AirPods blow up in his ear. Great. And there has been a lot of reports of this. Yes, quite a few recently, but a lot for the past 5-10 years as well. At the end of the day, you're basically putting a little battery in your ear, and obviously these are going to malfunction at times. Should they blow up? Definitely not, but you can kind of see how they are. But yeah, this is definitely true. We're not 100% sure why this is happening. Apple still have never actually come out and addressed this.
No. All jokes aside, who is this guy right here? Who is this? Because ain't no way you go from this to this. Who is this, man? Who is this? Because just a few days ago, like 2 days ago, on the gram, this is the picture that The Rock posted. Yeah. So how do you go from this to this? How did he do that? Why I'm asking, because I want to do that. We've seen so many versions of The Rock through the years. From this to this. I mean, he doesn't even do the people's eyebrow anymore. He doesn't do that anymore. Who is this, dogs? Who is this guy right here? Who is this? Because that's not him. This is The Rock that I know. I know him personally. Who's this? Remember him? Because I remember him like it was yesterday. This is The Rock that I know. This is The Rock that I was watching during wrestling growing up. I know this Rock. What the? Shut up! Who is this guy right here, though? Who is this? Notice how his nose is wider than the other ones. What is he? Look. What's going on here, guys? Come on, ain't nothing going on. These guys are actors. They play different roles. They have to fit the script. You know what I mean? So they got to get in shape and do things like that before they could play the new role that they're playing. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just wondering, how does he change so many times? But I understand he's an actor. This is what they do. Nothing to see here. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. I'm out.
I don't know if you've seen one of the pictures. It was a bedside table with a bunch of watches around it. In this drawer, there was an audio recorder. In all of Jeffrey Epstein's pictures, a lot of them, the victims and the core girls are wearing these chunky watches. So there's there's like one here. There's a big chunky watch right here.
Wait, why?
And look, and Jeffrey is even putting a watch on this girl.
Oh my God.
In this picture. Yeah. So these watches are just tracking devices. So Jeffrey can hear and track where these victims are going. What are they saying about him? All that.
Why do cats see things we can't? If you've ever seen your cat stare into an empty corner, you're not imagining it. They really can see things you can't. First, their eyes work completely differently. They can detect motion at speeds your vision isn't built for. They pick up tiny shifts in shadows, vibrations in the air, and movements smaller than a grain of dust. But it goes deeper. Cats can see in light so dim, your eyes would think it's complete darkness. What looks like an empty hallway to you is bright enough for them to track every tiny insect, dust particle, and reflection bouncing off the walls. Their pupils can widen 5 times more than ours, pulling in every photon left in the room. But the real twist is that cats can see in ultraviolet, a wavelength humans are completely blind to. So when sunlight hits a surface, it creates patterns you'll never notice. But your cat sees glowing shapes and invisible trails of light. So when your cat stares into a corner or tracks something midair, they're not reacting to nothing, they're reacting to a world outside human vision.
You want to go down the rabbit hole of 23andMe with me? I've been doing this for about a week, and I just watched a video that changed my whole thought process just like that. Deoxyribonucleic acid, your and my DNA, reacts to us outside of our body, no matter how far away it is from the host. Think about this for a moment. Happiness, sadness, anger, fear, the whole gambit of emotions. It is scientifically proven and has been tested that it reacts to us and it produces a charge. So what do you think 23andMe and other DNA collecting companies are actually doing with your and my DNA? I have never sent my DNA off, but every blood test, they collect your DNA. What do you think's being done with it? Let's go down the rabbit hole together.
All right, bro, whoever's got my DNA, you need to chill out because, you know, I'm going through enough despair, bro. I think, you know, just let me be.
Ryan Garcia has been trying to tell us something for a very long time. A recent tweet, Ryan Garcia stated, with the files being released, I just want to say, these things were never conspiracy, being targeted, etc. And anyone who called me crazy or conspiracy theorist or on something, to me, you will always feel like an enemy to the greater good. Open your eyes and remember, the truth always comes to light. I want you guys to keep in mind that a few years ago, Ryan Garcia came out and talked about some horrible things that he had witnessed, and everybody called him crazy for it and said that those things never happened. In a different tweet, he states, sacrifices. Remember, I told you it was happening, and now you see it's real, and it's sickening, and this evil stuff needs to be taken down. For years, anybody, whether you be a celebrity or a normal person, if you were talking about some of these events that were going on in the files, you were deemed crazy or just not credible, period. But the picture that has been painted with the newest files that have been released paint a whole different picture. Shortly after Ryan Garcia made these accusations a few years ago, it seemed like he was forced to apologize. He was sat down, videotaped, and seemed completely out of it and basically said he had made it all up and he was in some type of manic state. The term crazy in itself is a very dismissive term. Those who call somebody crazy, it's typically because they don't understand them or don't care to. It's deeper than you think. Comment below, let me know what you think. Wake up.
Do you know a lot of us are going to die in August? August 12th, 2026, the world will lose gravity for 7 seconds.
What? Who said that?
NASA knows. They're preparing and they won't tell us why. In November 2024, a secret NASA document titled Project Anchor leaked online. The project's budget is $89 billion. And its goal is to survive a 7-second gravitational anomaly expected August 12th, 2026. They expect the duration to be 7.3 seconds long and expected casualties will be 40 to 60 million people.
What?
They go on 1 to 2 seconds. Everything not secured will rise. People, vehicles, animals. 3 to 4 seconds in. Objects will continue to rise to 15 to 20 meters up. 5 to 6 seconds in. Panic and chaos will ensue. And people hit ceilings. 7 seconds. Gravity returns. And everything falls from the sky. And 40 to 60 million people are dead. Do you know a lot of us are going to die in August? August 12th, 2026, the world will lose gravity for 7 seconds.
Why in the fuck did I just see a CGI Demogorgon come out of the sky? Apparently this was to promote Stranger Things, the new season that came out. And I find this very strange. And all this is doing is showing that they have the technology. Now all these weird ass phenomena that we see in the sky, we can't even tell that it's real. They just make you think about Project Bluebeam. Hypothetically speaking now, if this was an actual project, they have the technology. Everything that you see in the sky, question it. It might just be an illusion. But I'm curious though, y'all let me know in the comment section on what y'all think about this new technology, this CGI ass technology. Could this be a link to something bigger they're not telling us about, or am I just over exaggerating? Let me know down below in the comments.
I was responding to ASAP Rocky's latest interview with Joe Budden talking about Rick Owens and how dark and
been waiting to talk about this.
Devil imagery and whatnot. And I was like, hold up, bro, isn't this you? And I show a picture of him inside of a pentagram with him and his boys doing a ritual.
I mean, you got to think of it like this. I don't know if y'all seen the What's Up video by ASAP. They literally did a ritual. Or inside of a pentagram, he had the book.
Why did the man
in his hand?
Why did he stop dropping an album?
Why did he stop dropping albums?
He said every time he dropped the album, somebody in his family. The last album he dropped, his sister before that was his mama.
And then before that, then Yams.
Then
Then
Yams.
Yams. They said that's why he stopped dropping albums. Why is that happening?
And then his boy in the video, in the Peso video, had an Aleister Crowley shirt on.
Yes.
And Aleister Crowley is the most sickest.
Aleister Crowley is one of the biggest Satanists of all time.
I don't get why he acts like he wasn't doing that. Like you weren't on that. You were saying, yeah, I don't think she ain't did no dark shit around me. You did the dark shit.
You literally did it.
That's crazy because if you think about all these humiliation rituals, and if you think about that, or they have to do something else to where they have to sacrifice, it's one of the two. Aleister Crowley, his apprentice was L. Ron Hubbard. They used to do rituals in Pasadena.
These dudes used to evaluate on the papers before they would write their notes on. That's fact. That's why when y'all see me handling people a certain way, because I've been knowing about a lot of things for a minute.
No, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So like when I be seeing certain people, I'm like, yeah, bitch, I know what you did.
Well, that's what Diddy was doing. He was doing sex magic. It wasn't just the sex deviancy.
No,
it was sexual magic.
That's
because like it's energy, right? So it's the same thing. So when you release, that's energy, and you can manifest. It's called sex magic,
and that's why the children have to get violated, because you have to remove that innocence from them in exchange for whatever these beings is for them to do your bidding.
Yeah. Sacrifices have been all through history.
Stop using this evil magic, because when they come calling for you to drop them draws, it's gonna get bad. It's not worth it. Every dude I seen sacrifice his manhood ended up crashing out. Look at Lil Nas. Lil Nas, last time we seen him, he was running down Skid Row naked.
Right.
Dude from Empire too. He completely crashed out.
Same thing with Bashir Gray.
Yeah.
Getting all this stuff is very real. It gets crazy. It is a pentagram, right?
Brother, not say, oh, I don't know anything about her doing no dark magic. And bro, explain that.
Yeah, you gotta explain it.
Explain that.
You standing there with a book of spells.
Bro.
Over the pentagram.
Your boy got an Aleister Crowley shirt on. That's the thing about these celebrities. They think it's still back in time. Like they still think it's a few years ago. Like there's a new climate now. Like
yeah, we
the people don't we want the real now.
For sure.
ASAP Rocky reminds me of that story of the kid that got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Like, bro's got chocolate all over his face. He's like, no, bro, I swear I didn't eat the cookie. Like, bro, you know what I mean? You can't stand over evil symbolism holding a book and be like, nah, bro, I wasn't doing nothing. Like, y'all are tripping. Like imagine someone pulls up to your house with a tank and they're just aiming at your house and you're like, bro, are you about to blow my house up? He's like, no, I'm just chilling here. Like, no, I'm not gonna believe you.
Remember that woman on the plane, the American Airlines, in the summer of 2023? The one who stood up shaking, claiming the person beside her wasn't human? You could see it in her face. She wasn't joking. She wasn't acting. That was real fear, the kind most people wouldn't even recognize if it stared them in the face. Of course, people laughed, said she was drunk, said she was on something. That's what they always do, distract themselves so they don't have to look. But body language experts studied the video, said she wasn't acting, said she actually saw something she wasn't meant to see. After the video went viral, she disappeared. No interviews, no posts, nothing, just vanished. Months later, she shows up once, some apology video or interview, and she looked completely different, stiff, careful, every word coached, too nervous, too off, and then silence again. I don't know what she saw, and maybe it doesn't even matter. People don't vanish like that for no reason. If you're paying attention, the quiet tells you more than any explanation ever could, because explanations invite questions. Questions spread, and when the silence falls, that's when you realize something bigger is happening, something no one wants you to see.
This is just a theory, not a fact.
I'm sorry, but what the hell is that? People have spotted what appears to be floating cities. You gotta be shitting me, haven't you? What is this? Some people thinking this is hell or a gateway to the afterlife. Guys, calm down. This is what it is. Now, granted, this is pretty crazy. If you're in the middle of nowhere and you look in the clouds and see what looks like a load of buildings, you're gonna be like, bro, what is that? Now, this is actually known as a Fata Morgana mirage. Now, this only happens when conditions are literally perfect, which is why this is so rare and you don't see it much. Makes it look like things that are far away are doubled or even levitating. Very similar to how we get mirages in the desert and things like that, it's just like on an extreme level. Obviously, if there's a city in the far distance and the conditions literally line up perfectly, it's very, very rare, then you can actually get phenomenons like this, where you basically see the city that's miles away floating above your head.
I could make a sperm out of your skin cells
and an egg and fertilize that.
So you can clone me.
I could clone you. I won't do that because it's illegal, but biologically we could do that. Because I can make organs, mini organs from you and test drugs.
Some,
and I could,
really
what we're doing in the lab is we have personalized medicine.
Yeah. Wow.
So when you come to my lab and you have to promise you're going to come, I'll show you, we grow these mini brains in the lab. And we've got them from people that are predisposed to Alzheimer's or not. And we have a way to age those brains so that they're now 80 years old, even though they're only a few months old. And they lose their ability to fire electrically. They become demented in the dish, little mini brains. On Instagram, I've shown some photos of these. They're pretty cute. And so we give them Alzheimer's and dementia in the dish. And then what we do is we have the system to turn on those 3 embryonic genes, OS and K, and those brains go back in age. But here's the cool thing. Alzheimer's goes away. They get the electrical activity comes back. Now we do this in a mouse. We make the mouse older, just let them age out, or we accelerate it. And we've been now reversing the age of those brains in the mice. And you can guess what happens. They get their memory ability to learn back.
Unbelievable.
There's this common person that everybody starts seeing in the AI generator and nobody knows who it is, but the pictures are mad disturbing. Look, look.
Nah, let me see this.
So people are calling her Loab, L-O-A-B. And that's a picture of her, right? I'm gonna show you more pictures later, but this is the story. So pretty much this girl, she went on DALL-E and she wanted to really test the AI. So what she did, she put in the name of a celebrity. I forgot his name. I think it was Marlon Brando. But anyways, you're able to put a name in of a celebrity, but she wanted to test it by putting everything but Marlon Brando. So she put a -1, right?
Okay.
So what she's saying, what she's claiming is that this picture or that person shows up more than any other celebrity in this AI generator. Now, what happened was she searched up Marlon Brando, anything but, so with a -1, and it showed this picture, right? And then she's like, what is this, right? So it's DIGITAPNTICS, and then it just shows like weird castles. It's a weird image, right? But what she did, she took that sentence, or I guess those letters, she put it in the AI generator, and what popped up was this girl, was this lady, and her name is Loab. So in one of the pictures, it gave another text, and the name was Loab, and then whatever this is on the side. It's hard to read, right? But everybody started looking into it, and everybody started searching up who Loab is and putting in the art generator. Bro, it gets messed up. Look at these pictures. Like, what is this shit?
What the fuck?
What is this? Look, you see that?
But it's all the same face though.
It's all the same woman. Nobody knows, like, who is this? Who is Loab?
AI took over the world hundreds of years ago. Your history is all AI. Photoshop has been around for hundreds of years, through various means. Photos themselves are much older than we are told. At least 200 years. And I don't believe the first Photoshop is in 1857 like they say. The Mona Lisa was printed. It wasn't painted. Renaissance paintings like the Mona Lisa were made with 2-micron paint. 30 to 50 microns is the average today. It was perfectly layered and couldn't be replicated today. Yet we're supposed to believe that Da Vinci made it with mortar and pestle paints. Nothing today can be compared to what was being made in 1434 by Jan van Eyck. The reflection in the background is perfectly displaying the reversed image. No one can replicate this level of detail. This is a print, a laser print. Photoshop was also done through etching. We have all been getting catfished. How much of the history has been etched away? These are the original filters. Cartoon filter, whitewash filter, sepia, grayscale. Supposedly there were no Civil War photos in battle, but plenty right before. And it doesn't stop with people. Looks like a lively city block, huh? Those people are painted in. This is in the New York Public Library. You can see they're painted in if you look closely. That horse was never there. You can see they removed people from this one. Their legs are still there. I'm sure many of you know about the Vanilla Sky photos. What a terrible crop job there. They edit out the skies and remove buildings. The sky is commonly cropped out poorly. This whole building is superimposed onto this block. Yet they have been able to solve overexposure in the skies since 1867 with the collodion process. Oops, actually 1857. Yet we get vanilla skies even into the 20th century. Maybe this is why. Even in film we have layering. Half the people aren't even paying attention to this. History is worse than chicks with BBLs and filters. And don't get me started on the sculptures. I've actually been to this place too. The name of this piece is called Deception. It's made out of a block of marble. It's a fishnet made out of a block of marble, and he made it in secrecy. More laser technology that the mutants took over after the reset. That slightly raised pinky causing that muscle flex being captured perfectly like that. The Renaissance was a reset. None of these artists existed. The technology was usurped and used to whitewash the history. And there was a hard reset between 1776 and the Civil War. AI is the opposite of Yah. It's really AI. AI has existed since ever. It is a program that is being uploaded through organic AI, aka human programs.
I mean, I'm not really surprised because the government is always way more advanced than us, and once we start seeing something, they've already been had it. So it's not really anything new to know that they've been hiding stuff, but to know that it's gone this far back is actually a little bit terrifying.
Beyonce and Jay-Z are now the most unfollowed Instagram accounts in the last 24 hours, following Jay-Z being named in the Epstein files. I mean, going from 320 and 4.4 to 308 and 1 million is actually insane. Beyonce's comment section is also not letting her breathe. They're saying your husband has been named in the Epstein files along Harvey Weinstein. Talks about your husband being in the files. You see your husband, you join him. LMAO, your husband likes good. Did you know about your husband? Use your voice. Silence is no longer neutral. Where you at, girl? Your husband's in the Jeffrey Epstein files. Nicki never lies. Now, some strings are definitely being pulled behind the scenes after the Shade Room posted and deleted this. Other major blog pages like Pop Base, Pop Crave, TMZ, The Hollywood Reporter, none of them have came forward to post about this. Regardless, it looks like those close to Jay-Z are taking this personally. The NFL themselves unfollowed Jay-Z. We know he works heavily with them. Apple Music unfollowed him. Y'all, even Rihanna herself unfollowed Jay-Z. I guess Kendrick Lamar was projecting when he said that predator move in flocks, that name gotta be registered and placed on Neighborhood Watch. Drake already clapped back at the situation, posting this lyrics from the song Two Birds, One Stone. We know Pusha T tried to come for him, and so did Jay-Z and Kendrick. So now I'm still waiting for Nicki to show up and say her few words, because I know she's gagging behind the scenes after all of this has been exposed. But what are y'all's thoughts?
Do you realize that if you fall into a black hole, you will see the entire future of the universe unfold in front of you in a matter of moments, and you will emerge into another space-time created by the singularity of the black hole you just fell into? You want some more cool stuff? Mars once had liquid running water coursing on its surface. It has geologic features that correspond in every way to the geologic features you see when you fly over the Mississippi River. But Mars is bone dry today. Something happened to the water, we don't know what. My point is, every place on Earth, there's liquid running water, there's life. There's evidence to think that Mars was habitable before Earth was.
Hey fool, a demon face formed in the clouds, y'all. Look at this shit. Look. The fuck? Now, everybody process things differently. So what I'm seeing might not be what you're seeing. So let me know down below in the comments. What do you see? Because to me, fool, that joint look crazy. Like, you can see the nose, the eyes, the eyebrows. Then up there look like a motherfucking horn. Like I said, I don't know. Everybody see things differently. But what I do know is people that was in this area, they was freaking out because the clouds was doing some shit. The lightning was doing some shit they ain't never seen. So you put two and two together, that's some crazy shit.
This is supposed to be the most cursed house in Hollywood.
No, I don't think you told me.
I never told you this?
No,
okay, so
cursed house.
There's this actress, Brittany Murphy.
Okay.
And she lived in this house in the Hollywood Hills, right? Even today, they still don't know what the fuck's wrong with this house and why it's so cursed, right?
Okay.
It's attached to many deaths.
Yeah.
So, first one was Brittany Murphy. Okay. She moved in with her mother and her husband, right? Now, one day, Brittany Murphy was found in the washroom of the house, dead on the floor, right?
Yeah.
They said she died of pneumonia, but they were still unsure. They're still unsure, like, how the fuck did she die of ammonia in this?
In Hollywood, it's hot.
Yeah. But her mother, she always thought her husband had something to do with it.
Okay.
What happens? A few months later, who dies?
The dad?
The husband.
Okay.
So the husband dies in the same washroom.
Yeah, it's the mom, fam. It's gotta be the mom.
No,
It's not the mom?
It's not the mom. Listen.
What the fuck?
So the husband dies now, right?
Okay.
And they look at the autopsy. Same thing. Ammonia, right? And the mother's like so shocked, like, what the fuck? How come people are dying in this house? No reason, right?
Yeah.
Now, just before the husband died, he said,
Yo, if you guys want part 2, comment part 2 right now.
Why does nobody care that our phones are scanning our faces every second?
Bro, this invisible light cannot be healthy. That's coming from his phone.
This is happening
But it's scanning
to all
his
of
face
us.
every second. And then you can see some over there, like someone
What are
else
they
is
planning?
is doing the same thing, and then someone else over there. Like this, what do y'all think?
I don't know how true that is, but you know, I really wouldn't be surprised if our phone was scanning our face like that. I would really hope my phone isn't doing that to me, but it probably is, so you know.
Many people are shocked as Will Smith just performed a song that looked like a satanic ritual at the BET Awards. In a recent collaboration with Kirk Franklin and Chandler Moore, Will Smith debuted a supposed gospel song at the BET Awards. However, fans were shocked at the satanic imagery that was displayed at the show, and soon realized that this gospel song didn't even mention Jesus Christ at all. Not to mention, Kirk Franklin was wearing high heels, which caused some to speculate that this could be a part of a humiliation ritual. Although the performance mentions Christian undertones about God and the devil, this does not mean that Will Smith was singing about the biblical God, because he's been very vocal about his New Age beliefs and denies Christianity as the only way to God.
You know, we went through Kabbalah, Scientology, we circled back around to the Quran. We love the idea of spirituality and the study of the love of God. We don't necessarily believe in organized religion. We really just wanted to find the truth.
John 14:6 tells us what the truth really is. Jesus said to him, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. There is no other way to God outside of Jesus. And anyone who tells you otherwise has worshipped a God of their own choosing, which will ultimately lead to eternal separation from the real creator of the universe.
Thank you guys for watching the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your favorite part of the video made you tremble in your boots, and we're going to be on to the next one. Thank you.